Hi everyone, so today we're going to go ahead and simplify radicals. By doing so, we're going to use factor trees. So let's look for the factors of 75. I can get 25 and 3. Now I can simplify 25 more, 2 more factors, which are 5 and 5. Then you have to look for pairs of numbers. So I have one pair of 5, but the 3 does not have a pair. So the 5 has a pair, and that goes outside the radical. And then the 3 that doesn't have a pair has to stay underneath the radical. So the final answer being 5 square roots of 3. Now with 90, you have lots of pairs of factors. So it doesn't matter which one you choose, you'll end up getting the same answer at the end. So I'm going to choose 9 and 10. Now 9 has factors of 3 and 3. And 10 has factors of 2 and 5. Now again, look for a pair, which I have, of the 3's, but you notice that the 2 and 5 don't have a pair. So the 3 that has a pair goes outside the radical, and then the 2 and the 5 don't have a pair, so that stays underneath the radical, and I multiply those numbers together, which gets me square roots of 10. Now I have 192. So let's find some factors. I have 48 times 4. I can break down the 48 into 8 and 6, and the 4 into 2 and 2. Again, the 8 and the 6 can be broken down even more, and then so can the 4 as well. So again, make sure you're looking for pairs of numbers. You have a pair of 2, another pair of 2, and a third pair of 2. And you also have a 3 that doesn't have a pair. So make sure you have 3 pairs of 2's. So you write 2 3 times. So 2 times 2 times 2 goes on the outside. And then you have the square root of 3, which simplifies to 8 square roots of 3. Now, we can't take the square root of a negative number, and mathematicians define I as I squared is equal to negative 1. So we can use the fact that I is equal to the square root of a negative 1 when we want to go ahead and take the square roots of a negative number. So we have to use the imaginary number system. So let's look at some examples together. If I have the square root of negative 16, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to rewrite. I'm going to rewrite as the square root of 16 times the square root of a negative 1. Now, the square root of a negative 1 we know is I. And now I have the square root of 16, and I can actually simplify that using my factor trees. Now, the 4 and the 4 you can break down into 2 and 2, but 4, you already have a pair there. So let's take the pair, the 4, and the I, and because everything is outside of our radical, everything has a pair, we're going to write it as 4I. Now I have the square root of negative 20. I can rewrite as 20 times square root of negative 1. I get I from the square root of negative 1, and 20 gets broken down into 4 and 5. Now the 4 simplifies again, 2 and 2. I have a pair of 2. I have the I that came out of the radical, and then I have the 5 that didn't have a pair. So on the outside of my radical, I'm going to put the 2 and the I, and then underneath the radical, I'm going to leave the 5. My final answer being 2I square roots of 5. Here I have negative 150. So again, let's rewrite. I know I get I from the square root of negative 1, and 150 I can break down into 15 and 10. Breaking down and simplifying those numbers again, I have 3 and 5, and then 5 and 2. So I have a pair of 5, and then I have the I, and then the 3 and the 2 don't have a pair. So whatever had the pair, which was the 5, along with the I, has to go outside my radical. The 3 and the 2 did not have a pair, so they stay underneath my radical. However, I do multiply those numbers together, which gets me square roots of 6. Now here are some things to remember. Remember, I comes from the square root of -1, and always find pairs of factors to bring outside the radical. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for notifications on new videos. Thanks for watching!